Hi, this is George. So, this is my Swatchtober for October, and this is my version of Inktober, where I give you ideas on how to do swatches in a different way. Hopefully, that's more fun. This is day 20, and I'm going to go through a couple of patterns that I like to include in some of my doodles. I'm going to use again my Hannah Mueller bamboo mixed media, which is paper I use when I doodle at my doctor's office or on a bus or waiting in line at the bank. And this is one that was the idea for this one. I'm trying a kind of a new format. So a pattern that I like to use, and again, I'm going to go with a square or rectangle. And this is kind of a way to add shadow or dimension and texture. So you draw in a number of lines. It's kind of a cross hatch. You can do 3, 4, or 5 sections depending upon how detailed you want to go, and kind of random. And the lines don't need to be precise or even, because if you can see, some of my lines are a little wonky. And today I will be using my Winsor Newton Cutman watercolor pan set. It comes with 24 colors, and since I need a lot of real estate in using this, I'm going to arrange this over here. So hopefully it doesn't get confusing to you. So anyway, back to this. So the sections will have a different color or the same color, and I'm going to go in here. Let me rearrange my paper. And it's better if you have like 100% cotton. That way, the amount of layer and working, the 100-pound, 100% cotton will absorb it a lot more readily. So I have some water over here, and when I disappear, that's where I'm going. I will be using a number of round brushes. I like the round brush because it's more smooth as opposed to a flat brush. These sections here, I may or may not use them for, well, you'll see. I'm going to spritz my palette with water, and I'm protecting the painting because I don't want to get it accidentally wet before I'm ready. And I'm going to use my bigger brush so I can apply more color more quickly. So let's go with yellow ochre, and I'm going to apply it wet on dry. And a bit more water without cleaning my brush, and spit it over the section that I'm going to work with. And now I'm going to clean my brush and get a bit of yellow, and again going in with wet on dry. And without wash my brush out, I'm going to get from more color. And let's go with a bit of orange. A bit more concentrated. And more water. Sorry, I was off the camera. And since I don't want to deal with the overage, I'm going to closely and gently apply a little bit of clean water. And again, and I like the forced bloom here, so I'm going to apply a little bit of water here and pigment as well. and a little bit of yellow ochre. Sorry, I apparently have no friend. And getting in with a bit more water to dilute it. Okay, I like it. So I'm going to blow dry it with my heat tool, and I will be back. Before I go, I'm going to clean my brush out that I've been using on a kitchen towel to make sure that the pigment is all gone. So I want to continue the outer circle. So I'm going to draw one in. And it's probably not going to be perfect, but that's okay. And let's go for circle in the center, because why not? I'm going to get my kneaded eraser and lightly erase this a little bit. And let's see, what I'm going to do is go to my number 4, and I'm going to use a pan of raw sienna, activate it a little bit, maybe a little more. I wasn't intending to do this, so I didn't prep it beforehand, but that's okay. There you go. So even though this is blue, the background is blue, is enough of a contrast between the raw sienna and the blue to make it somewhat interesting. And let's go in the end with the raw sienna. Clean my brush out, get more water, soften the blend here and here. And we can start going for this design. So as I said before, as I allow the paint to dry, I come up with some certain ideas that I may or may not want to pursue. But I'm going to extend here as well as, okay. So this is the section that we're going to work with this pattern here. And sometimes people say, why don't you erase all the lines that you put in? I say that leaving some lines in your doodle, especially when you are painting, adds a certain amount of charm to your doodle. So letting the pencil marks come through, I like that sometimes. Now we're going to look at the dried pools, and you start using them. All you need is a little bit of water, and I'm using a small number 2 round, and what I'm going to do is kind of carefully paint in and that's too close, so I'm going to add a bit of red, any red that you want. And while I use this pattern, I've never done it like this, so it's new to both of us. And changing up the color again. And the good thing is, if you don't like the color, you can change it up, like that. Now you could conceivably use a larger brush, but this is how I worked before, so I'm kind of getting comfortable doing it again. Going into my purple lake and a bit of yellow to desaturate it, and that back into the purple lake. I know it's kind of tedious, but really you're concentrating, but it is, you're also having fun. Going back in here, I should have done this section as I was doing this one, but I forgot. But that's okay. And infuse a little bit of color there. That's good. All right. I want to reactivate the ochre here and more concentrated. Clean up my brush a little bit and infuse whatever color this is. By the time you start using your dried up tools, sometimes you have no idea what colors are there. But that's kind of the joy of watercolor. You never know until you try and see how it is when it's dry, because it's probably going to dry a tad bit lighter. I mean, you have a general idea of what it's going to do, but not 100%. I'm going to use a little bit of blue and tone it down again. The idea is just to have some variety. Now, do I know what I'm going to do in the surrounding areas? No, but that's okay. So, how do you like it? It's enough of a difference between this and this and this. It's kind of cohesive. And basically, it's this design or pattern and adding a little bit of color to it. I hope you enjoyed the video today and got inspired to have some fun with your patterns. And if you haven't seen that before, I'm glad I had the opportunity to present it to you. Remember to VOTE and be kind to yourself and be kind to others and have a great day. Bye.